If we don't do this, we're sunk. The ship, unless this exercise is successful, the ship of America will sink. That's why we're doing it.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Elon Musk and the Doge team being interviewed on Fox News by Bret Baier. Now, this was an amazing interview, about 30 minutes or so. If you want to see that full interview, I'll link to it in the box. There's a few things we're going to cover in this video, but the main thing I want to stress is that the Doge team is not who the media want to portray them as. If you're watching The View or any other alphabet letter television networks, MS-13 DNC, CNN, CBS, etc., they're going to say that the Doge team are a bunch of snot-nosed 15-year-olds that don't know anything, playing on the computer. No, these are very, very serious men, very intelligent men, very successful men who are really volunteering their time to help this country survive. That's who these guys are. And in this video, you're going to see that proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. Now, before I go any further, let's get to the clips. Again, if you want to see this full interview, I'll link to it in the box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
And they told me something about a mine that was dealt with retirement. And they said they needed somebody to help out to fix retirement in the government.
Now, before he gets to the whole mine thing, and if you don't know about the mine, this is where all the government retirement paperwork is held. In a mine underground. It's a whole bunch of employees. It's a whole ridiculous system from the 1950s that has not been updated at all ever. Now, this man right here, his name is Joe Gebbia. You can look him up. He is the co-founder of Airbnb. Like I said, these are very serious men, but I digress.
I love the challenge, so I jumped on board. And it turns out there is actually a mine in Pennsylvania that houses every paper document for the retirement process in the government. Now, picture this. This giant cave has 22,000 filing cabinets, stacked 10 high to house 400 million pieces of paper. It's a process that started in the 1950s and largely hasn't changed in the last 70 years. And so as he dug into it, we found retirement cases that had so much paper, they had to fit it on a shipping pallet. So the process takes many months, and we're going to make it just many days.
Will it be digitized, or how?
Absolutely. So this will be an online digital process that will take just a few days at most. And I really think, it's an injustice to civil servants who are subjected to these processes that are older than the age of half the people watching your show tonight. So we really believe that the government can have an Apple Store-like experience, beautifully designed, great user experience, modern systems.
Yeah, I mean, that whole system needs to be updated. Some are going to say, well, look, we need to have paperwork backup because tech can fail. Well, that mine can fail. What if the mine collapses? What if there's a fire? I mean, there's a lot of what ifs with anything. But I think the main thing would be just, modernize things a little bit, have something a little bit more up to date rather than 1950s technology. I'm just saying. All right. Now, the next person is Tyler Hassan. He was running 5 businesses in Houston and left all of that on pause to go help save our nation. Check it out.
Do you guys all see this as a patriotic duty? And is that really what this is about?
It's essential.
Right. I do, 100%. I was running 5 businesses in Houston, and I left that. I left great people to do this, and my wonderful wife said, go for it. And here I am. But I feel like this is me giving back to the country.
If we don't do this, we're sunk. The ship, unless this exercise is successful, the ship of America will sink. That's why we're doing it.
Do you guys?
What I see right here, some are going to say, oh, they're white. I don't care what color they are. I don't care nothing about that. I see great American patriots. That's what I see, 100%. I don't care nothing about how they look. You're an American. You want to help this country. Let's do it. All right. Let's keep moving here.
I'll say the 2 improvements that we're trying to make to Social Security are helping people that legitimately get benefits, protect them from fraud that they experience every day on a routine basis, and also make the experience better. And I'll give you one example is at Social Security, one of the first things we learned is that they get phone calls every day of people trying to change direct deposit information. So when you want to change your bank account, you can call Social Security. We learned 40% of the phone calls that they get are from fraudsters.
40%.
That's right. Almost half.
Yes, and they steal people's Social Security is what happens. Is they call in, they say they claim to be a retiree, then they convince the Social Security person on the phone to change where the money's flowing. It actually goes to some fraudster. This is happening all day, every day. And then somebody doesn't receive their Social Security. It's because of all the fraud loopholes in the Social Security system.
How do you reassure people that what you all are doing is not going to affect their benefits?
No, in fact, what we're doing will help their benefits. Legitimate people, as a result of the work of Doge, will receive more Social Security, not less. I want to emphasize that. As a result of the work of Doge, legitimate recipients of Social Security will receive more money, not less money.
All right.
I want to emphasize that point and let the record show that I said this, and it will be proven out to be true.
Now, look, the media want to scare you into thinking that Elon is trying to steal your grandma's Social Security check. First of all, I think Elon has enough money to where he doesn't have to steal your mama's Social Security. Okay, but beyond that, obviously what they're doing right here is trying to help Mama, help Pawpaw keep their benefits and get more benefits. Nobody's trying to put people out on the street that really, really, really need help. Elderly, disabled. You know who should be put out is able-bodied people that just don't want to do anything. Okay, you're 25 years old and you want to lay in your hind parts all day. You shouldn't be getting a bunch of help. But somebody who's 85 years old, work hard for the country, veteran, there's no reason for them to be left out in the cold. Okay, let's keep on going here. And again, everything will be in the box.
The sheer amount of waste and fraud in the government. It is astonishing. It's mind-blowing. We routinely encounter wastes of $1 billion or more, casually.
Casually running into wastes of $1 billion. You know, these numbers get thrown around a lot. 100 million, 500 billion, but $1 billion is a lot of money. It is a whole lot of money. And to just casually come across that as far as waste in the government is ridiculous.
You know, for example, like the simple survey that was literally 10-question survey that you could do with SurveyMonkey, cost you about $10,000, was the government was being charged almost $1 billion for that.
For just the survey?
$1 billion for a simple online survey, do you like the national park? And then there appeared to be no feedback loop for what would be done with that survey. So the survey would just go into nothing. It was like insane.
Completely ridiculous, unnecessary uses of money. And again, that is part of the mission of Doge to stop all that. Okay, now here's something else, because some say they're just taking the hatchet and just cutting randomly, cutting everything, and there's no rhyme or reason to it, but they're actually being very careful. Let's watch.
We actually want to be careful in the cuts, so we want to measure twice, if not thrice, and cut once. Actually, that is our approach. They may characterize it as shooting from the hip, but it is anything but that. Which is not to say that we don't make mistakes. If we were to approach this with the standard of making no mistakes at all, that would be like saying someone in baseball's got to bat 1,000. That's impossible. So when we do make mistakes, we correct them quickly, and we move on.
Right on. And I'm glad that he's being transparent like this. The transparency of this administration, I'm loving so much. The previous administration, they didn't tell us anything. And when they did tell us something, they would tell us a straight up lie right in our faces. Okay, I'm loving the transparency. But what he's saying is correct. Nobody's going to be perfect. That's impossible to be perfect. But you want to be as accurate and as precise as possible. And of course, when you make mistakes, you fix them very quickly. All right, let's keep going here. Oh, the SBA loans. SBA loans going out to children. It's like, how is that happening? How are these children getting these SBA loans? Check this out.
For example, there were over $300 million of Small Business Administration loans that has been given out to people under the age of 11.
Well, actually, to add to it, it's $300 million under the age of 11 and over $300 million to over the age of 120.
Definitely
small business loans.
Correct.
Yes. The oldest American is 114. So it's safe to say if their age is 115 or above, they're fake. Or they should be in the Guinness Book of World Records. And we should not be giving out loans to babies. So the youngest recipient of a Small Business Administration loan is a 9-month-old, which is a very, very precocious baby we're talking about here. So obviously it was just fraudulent. And they do terrible things. They actually will see that a kid's been born. They will steal that kid's social security number and then take out a loan and leave that kid with a bad credit rating. There's literally a baby. The terrible things are being done is what we're saying. If, for example,
and you know what? The thing about waste, fraud, and abuse, it's not just government employees or the government itself. Well, I don't want to say the employees. It's not just the government itself doing things they shouldn't be doing. It's also regular people committing straight up fraud. And there's not a lot of systems in place to prevent that from happening or to just kind of check and say, hey, okay, here's a loan going out to an infant. Is that right? This person is 175 years old. Is that right? Now, there's more here, but again, I will link to everything. I will link to the full 30-minute interview in the box. So shout out to Team Doge, shout out to Elon, shout out to Brett Baer over at Fox News. It was a great interview. I already knew that these guys were like this. Very serious, very intelligent, very successful, and they want the best for the country. Nobody really, in my humble opinion, should be against guys who want the best for this nation. I mean, some may think they don't have the best interests of the nation at heart, but if you think that, then what is that based on? Television, what they say, people on The View, people who probably have financial interests that are kind of getting messed up because Elon wants to cut waste, fraud, and abuse from the federal government. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to them. This is a good thing. I like what I'm seeing. I like it. I love it. Want more of it. Shout out Tim McGraw. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about what Elon Musk and Team Doge are doing? Are you for it? Are you against it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Somewhere in between. Don't really care. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. Did this interview open your eyes? Did you think one thing about Doge and now you think something different? You guys know where I'm at. I knew these guys were very serious from the beginning. These guys are very smart. And you should want the smartest people, the best people on your team. Why wouldn't you want that? If the mission is to save the entire nation and you need very smart guys to be able to do it, why not get the smart guys on your team? Who cares what color they are? Who cares what race, age? I don't care nothing about that. Are they good at what they do? Are these the best guys? Are they smart? Okay, put them in there, get them to work, and let's get this country back on track. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.